30 Tomahawk missiles flew towards the enemy's airport. 4 F-18 fighter jets also formed an offensive formation. In order to avoid the enemy's anti-aircraft missiles, the pilots flew their fighter jets at low altitude within the enemy country. Soon, the Tomahawk missiles destroyed the runway of the airport. 2 Su-57 fighter jets of the enemy immediately changed direction and flew towards the airport. The pilots also reached the mission location. After launching missiles at the target base, they immediately pulled their fighter jets vertically. The pilots eventually destroyed the target while enduring a gravitational load of 9 times their body weight. At this moment, they were detected by the radar. The enemy's anti-aircraft missiles locked onto the 4 F-18 fighter jets. Just as one fighter jet was about to be hit, another fighter jet released decoy flares and saved its comrade. However, this fighter jet was then hit by a missile. Fortunately, the pilot opened the parachute. At this time, the enemy's helicopter spotted him. Just when the pilot was in despair, the helicopter was suddenly destroyed by artillery fire. It turned out that his comrade had arrived in time, but the fighter jet was then hit by another missile. The two pilots safely rendezvoused in the forest. Soon, they discovered that there was an old F-14 fighter jet at the enemy's airport. So, the two pilots infiltrated the enemy base and stole the fighter jet. But the runway had been damaged, and there wasn't enough distance for the fighter jet to take off. Subsequently, the pilot deployed the wings of the fighter jet. Then, he accelerated with all his might and flew out. With his superb skills, he successfully took off the fighter jet. At this time, 2 Su-57 fighter jets suddenly appeared. The pilot pretended to be an enemy, but this plan was seen through by the enemy pilot. Upon seeing this, the pilot made a sharp turn and maneuvered behind the opponent. Successfully, he shot down one Su-57 fighter jet, but he himself was then locked onto by another Su-57 fighter jet. Just as he was about to be destroyed, his comrade, piloting an F-18 fighter jet, appeared and successfully saved the two pilots. Since the landing gear of this F-14 fighter jet was damaged, it had to make an emergency landing using the arrestor net. Finally, the two pilots landed safely.